Welcome to another day in the Matrix. Waters above crypto. I'm sending you all high vibrations this weekend. Much love to all of you. Today we're going to analyze the upcoming monthly close for the cryptocurrency market, which is happening tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. This is a very important monthly close, so I'm going to cover everything you need to know and the prices to look out for on the Bitcoin and XRP charts. Also, just a reminder, today is the last day of the sale on my Mastermind course. There's a promo code in the pinned comment below that will be live for the next 24 hours. The course includes over 100 instructional videos with a full Gematria masterclass that was recently added for those of you who are looking to further your education in Gematria and decoding. And I get this question quite often about my personal exit strategy, so I just wanted to let everyone know that as the months progress, I'll continue to add new video lessons to the Mastermind course as we approach the end of the bull run, sharing my exit strategies and how to effectively take profits when the time comes. So if you're new here, we do cryptocurrency technical analysis and combine it with Gematria, numerology, and astrology to understand these markets. Feel free to subscribe and turn on the bell notification to stay updated on when new videos come out. And make sure to give this video a like and share this channel with other conscious people to help grow this community. And for those of you who want to learn how to do technical analysis and combine it with Gematria, you can join my Mastermind course with the promo code in the pinned comment below for a discount. My email is in the description box to get in contact with me for access to the course. And with that being said, let's take the red pill. So, what we are getting in last night's daily close was pretty epic. We actually hit $42,000 Bitcoin yesterday. And since May 21st, this is the first time hitting above 42,000 about 70 days ago. And for anyone who's been following my work for a while, you know in the month of June, I made a prediction that Bitcoin would hit at least 42K in the month of July. And we made it right before the last day of the month, and now the next move I'm anticipating is Bitcoin hitting $50,000 in August around the new moon of August 8th. So if anyone here is new to my work, I use the moon phases to determine the price direction of Bitcoin, with new moons being a bullish energy and full moons being a bearish energy. And I'll just show you really quickly the indicator that I use. It looks as such, where we see around the full moons within 5 days or so, we typically get our bottoms, and in our new moon cycles within 5 days, we get our tops. And there's been a reset of energy ever since this moon and this moon. And the reason why is because these were two eclipses back to back, and these two eclipses set us off in somewhat of a new direction. And now that they've passed, we're entering the month of August, where we historically see a relief rally for all the cryptocurrencies, particularly Bitcoin. And you could see right here, these new moons, every time we're getting a new moon, we're hitting tops every single time. And every time we're getting bottoms, it's around the full moons. This indicator in the year of 2021 has been perfect. So what I'm anticipating is within 5 days plus or minus of August 8th, which is the next new moon, we will be seeing a microcycle top, which I believe will be 50K minimum for Bitcoin. Sorry, 50K at least, and we could see wicks as high as 52,000. And the wicks would probably be sold off pretty quickly. Whatever top we hit, I don't think it's just going to keep going from there. I have said this many times on this channel that I do not believe we'll be seeing all-time highs for Bitcoin or any of the major cryptocurrencies until the month of October minimum. Some altcoins will be outliers because they're altcoins, and altcoins have way less market cap, way lower liquidity, and that's just a different market structure to be considered. So anyways, tonight is the monthly close for Bitcoin. Let me go over here to the index chart, my favorite chart for Bitcoin. And this monthly chart, we're going to show something that is quite interesting, which I'll be turning off these moon phases because they don't actually work on this monthly chart. And I'm going to be pulling up these moving averages. And I like to use this yellow moving average is actually the 8 simple moving average, but traditionally people are using the 9. Now I'm going to swap this to the 9, and you can see that we're actually trading above it. The 9 right now is sitting at $39,700, and that 9 moving average, again, it's more traditional. And what I believe we need to see is a monthly close tonight, which it looks like we're going to get above this 9. And then after that, we need to remain staying above at least the 8 EMA. And that would be the most bullish thing that we could see moving forward through the months of August, September, etc. So closing above this 9 simple moving average for the monthly at 39,700 would be extremely bullish for the entire cryptocurrency market. And closing above the 8 right now, I could show you by changing this back to what I typically use because it's a Fibonacci number. That puts us around 42,200 for the next month. Now this will increase as we close tonight. It will decrease slightly, probably to about 42,000. So that's telling me that our next bottom that we'll be having on the next monthly close will most likely hold this 8 simple moving average, or at least the 9 simple moving average. Again, I like to use the 8. A lot of other analysts like to use the 9 when it comes to the monthlies. Tomato, tomato. So anyways, let's look at a couple other things. We have our weekly, and the weekly is pretty important right now because we're seeing that we flipped the 8 simple moving average on the weekly chart, and that's really nice to see because we've had multiple weekly closures below that. We're looking at about 10 straight weeks, or about 70 days or so, trading below this shorter term moving average. And then if we pull up our exponential moving averages, we can see something very important here, which is this orange moving average as the 21 weekly exponential moving average. Having a closure below the 21 week exponential on Bitcoin will typically lead to a massive correction for Bitcoin, which will then lead to a massive correction on the altcoins. I've actually said this all throughout the month of April and May, and when we saw this correction down below the 21 in the week of May 10th and then bought back up above it, but then followed by this huge dump, we saw how that reacted for all the altcoins. It drained significantly, some altcoins losing 90% of their value. So this is kind of the stuff that happens after shit coins start to go up very fast. And that was about what happened. Once Bitcoin topped out in the structure, you started seeing things like all the majors, the big good altcoins, started to rally to new highs. And then after they all topped out, you saw Ethereum top out, and then Ethereum was the signal. Once Ethereum topped out, that actually saw a massive shitcoin season where all these shitties started doing really well because they're all ERC20 tokens. They're nonsense. And now that Binance Smart Chain is out, we're going to probably see an even crazier end of this bull run with those shitcoins. So I'm not going to sit here and name what they are. You guys should probably know what they are by now. But the point being is that it's all a flow. Bitcoin tops out first, then the majors top out second, and then ETH or XRP are always sort of these final movers to hit their blow off tops. And then that's when you start seeing shitcoin season, and then you see Bitcoin pull back. 21 weekly EMA fails. Once it fails, everything loses 70 to 80% of its value. Some coins losing over 80%, as high as 90% of their value. And that's exactly what happened in the month of May, transitioning into the month of June. That was all due to the eclipses, back-to-back eclipses, and I will stand by that because that's kind of how I've been looking at this market through the astrological sight glass. So what we're seeing right now is pretty nice. This weekly close tomorrow being above this 21 would be the first weekly close above this key moving average in quite a while. And again, if you close below it, that's very bearish for the altcoins and Bitcoin. But once Bitcoin closes above it, that's a sign of bottoming. And this bottom of having so many straight days of Bitcoin not wanting to break below 30,000, that's bullish as ever. And I was telling everyone that expect this cycle, what we're currently in is a reaccumulation after decline in Bitcoin, where now we are in the stage of what's called automatic reaction or automatic rally. And the automatic rally leads to a bull trap, and that'll put us somewhere in the $50,000 Bitcoin, followed by retests of lower levels. And the problem here is once we get these rejections at the 50K level, all the altcoins will start to pump, and then everyone's going to think that Bitcoin's going back to like 20,000, and in reality it's just they don't understand structure. They're not stupid. students or scholars of market structure. So they think that's the end of the bull run, and that's where it gets really difficult to determine what's really going on. And what we will look to after that time comes is the 21 EMA. The 21 EMA will be our compass into where Bitcoin's probably going to return back to for one last bearish retest, bear trap to the end of a parabolic bull run into December. So let's go to the 2-day close, because that's what's happening tonight. That's very important. And you could actually see one thing right here that's nice of this 13 and this 21 crossing. That's huge. Once we get tonight's close, we'll see this 13 EMA crossing above the 21, and then this 13 EMA will start posturing above the 34, and these will all flip back into a bullish posture. And you guys have heard me talk about this quite a bit. The EMAs being in this 13, 21, 34 is bearish. When they flip in the other direction with the shorter term moving averages at the top and the longer term moving averages being at the bottom, that's a bullish flip of the EMAs, and that's indicative of bullish price action. So it's really nice that we'll be seeing this, but the one thing that I think will be important right now is this right here. This white moving average is the 55 simple moving average, and you clearly see that this is the first time we've retested it all the way going back to pretty much early May. And because we're retesting it for the first time, it's of course going to be resistance. That's how these moving averages work. So this 55 resistance coming in at 41,750, a close tonight above that level would be massive. And because it's just like a $500 difference from where we're trading at now, that's obvious that that's possible. Again, I would not be surprised if we didn't close above it, but at the end of the day, this price action has been way too bullish, way too quickly. So I don't want it to close substantially higher than these levels anyways. Regardless, as a technical analyst, you don't want to be seeing prices just move. When they moon too fast, the RSI gets overheated, and then we typically see really bad corrections. So all in all, Bitcoin getting to 42K last night, kind of holding that level, getting a slight rejection against this 2-day 55 simple. This is all textbook technical analysis stuff that we're getting, and it's nice to see, actually. I don't want to see Bitcoin continue rampaging to the upside. And also, from an altcoin perspective, that'll be bad for altcoins, because Bitcoin dominance will continue to be too bullish. And it's already sitting at about almost 50% Bitcoin dominance at this time anyways. So another thing to consider here is that when these moving averages flip, these EMAs, that's another huge sign of bottoming as well. Let's go to the daily, because the daily we're seeing big things happen. First things first, yesterday was a massive liquidity spike into the daily close. We can see right here the back test of this 200 exponential moving average. That's nice, and we're seeing this the 8 simple moving average cross above the 200. That's huge. The only big level we need to take out now is the 200 simple moving average, sitting around 44,800, and I suspect that that will probably be out of the way by sometime early next week. This is a sneeze from here. So getting through the weekly close, having CME reopen, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, once they reopen, do what they do to, clear out any of their positions, then you will see reversals, and that's when I see this level of 45 being taken out. So I suspect we should see this get gravitated to this to this 200 simple moving average sometime next week. That's the long and short of it. But if I was to hide these moving averages, you can see what I was just talking about with the 2-day is what's happening with the daily. You see this blue is above the orange, and the orange is above the red. That's the 13, 21, 34 have flipped bullish. This is the first time we've seen this actually since pretty much Bitcoin hit an all-time high of $65,000. Huge. Now, the only problem here is we're way separated from these moving averages. So that's why I would like Bitcoin to kind of chill out, trade a little bit at the 40,000 level, build some strength, get above this previous high. As you can see, it's back testing the highs of June. And that's really nice to see. What was previously resistance is now getting back tested as a support. And having this cross of the 8 EMA, not only getting above the 55 simple, the 55 and 8 simple moving averages crossing, and then this crossing it right here, that's huge. That's huge to see these moving averages starting to flip into bullish posture, even in the macro time frames. Now, another thing that I think is important to talk about is whenever you're looking at moving averages, you want to see them sloping upwards. So this 200 exponential is just starting to flatline. We would like to see it start to flip to slope upwards. When you're seeing upward sloping moving averages, that's a sign of bullish momentum. So just keep that in mind, especially if you're trying to do technical analysis on larger time frames like the bi-weekly, the monthly, and the bi-monthly. When you're looking at those, you always want to be seeing your moving averages sloping up. When they start to slope down, that's a sign of stoppage and continuation, possibly in the opposite direction, which would be bearish. And right now, nothing to me has any bearish activity whatsoever. A close tonight above 41,800 would be extremely bullish. I have nothing of a bearish bias to say at this time besides possibly back testing the 200 EMA or the 8 simple, which would put us above 38,000. And until we start breaking below like 36 or this 55 simple moving average, I have nothing really bearish to talk about at this time. This is full on bull mode. So tonight's 2-day above the $42,000 level would also keep us, above the $40,000 level would keep us above the top side Bollinger Band. And you guys have been hearing me talk about these Bollinger Bands a lot lately on this channel. And you could see we've traded 1, 2, and this will be our third consecutive 2-day candle trading above the top side Bollinger Band. Bullish. So before we move into the XRP chart, go ahead, give this video a like if you enjoy what we're doing over here, subscribe if you're new, and let's move on to Ripple's token. So you could see right off the gate, we're getting that 2-day closure a couple days ago above the topside Bollinger Band. Today, XRP is trading above the topside 2-day Bollinger Band as well. That's very nice. Holding above that level would be very good. So one thing we could do is just go to our monthly chart. Let's turn off the Bollinger Bands. And we're going to get some data here. This 8 simple moving average on the monthly, we are holding that level. We're about to close the monthly. If we could hold 73 cents, then we would get a nice bullish close. 74 cents would be better. Obviously, anything higher than 74 cents. So we are good to go on the monthly so far. Let's go to the weekly. Weekly, we're above the 8. That's very nice, but you can see the 8 is sloping downwards. So again, when it has that downward slope on the macro time frames, it's not that great. The 21 is sitting right here hugging the 13. So you see that these two moving averages, the 13 and the 21 exponential on the weekly, they're coiled up together. And although we're getting above the 34 weekly, the big one would be the 21 weekly. So flipping above 78 cents right now would be crazy for XRP. That would be a big sign of a bottom. And when we called the bottom at 51 cents, I was very confident in that, and this would be more confluence as to a bottom. So getting that weekly close above that 78 cent level, although that's not out of the cards for tonight, it's about a 4-cent move from here. You know how XRP is. We can get to the final 10 minutes of the close and XRP just goes straight to 80 cents. I've seen it happen before. It's pretty much last night we started seeing XRP get extremely bullish leading into that close. So let's look at the 2-day. 2 days really nice. So we're above that 21 on the last 2-day closure, and it's this 34 on the 2-day that is looking like it wants to give us a lot of resistance. Again, we're seeing slope to the upside on these exponentials. Once we get a 2-day closure above that 75 cent level, we'll clear out this 34 EMA. That's very nice. But remember what I said, we're seeing this in bearish posture where the 13 is below the 34. We want these to flip the opposite direction. So until then, we're probably not going to see anything major. Now on the daily, this is looking very juicy. So we got this 13 has flipped above the 21, and it looks like tonight's daily closure will flip this above the 34. So the daily is looking very good for XRP. Let's look at the simple moving average. Oh, okay, great. So you can see right here, we have the moving averages are coiling up. We have this 200 holding support on yesterday's daily close. Today, it's kind of looking a little sketchy, but we had 2 days in a row attempting to test this 200 simple moving average. Once it gets above this 200 simple moving average, combined with seeing this cross right here, that's going to be huge, huge. That's when we're going to start seeing XRP head up to the probably 87 cent level. So again, my favorite bullish cross on the daily is the 8 simple and the 55 simple. When the 8 crosses above the 55, massively bullish. Then once this 55 starts sloping positive, sloping to the upside, those two things combined with seeing closures above the 200s, massive. And that's only about a 4% move from here probably. Let's look at that. Yeah, less than 4% pretty much to be closing above the 200 simple moving average. So that takes nothing for something like XRP. And let's look back a little bit into our VPVR and see where we're getting on the point of control. Zoom in a little bit, and there we go. We see 868, so 87 cents, like I just mentioned. Getting above that level, getting above the point of control would be telling us that, like, hey, we're back in bull mode for XRP, and that'd be very nice. So again, if anyone out there doesn't have the pro trading view, you're not able to get this VPVR indicator, but I highly recommend, for those of you that are trying to take this seriously, trying to replace your daily income or whatever it is with moving into crypto and investing, getting an upgrade like this to the pro trading view is extremely, critical for people. So anyways, what final thoughts do we have? Pretty much this is it. This cross right here coming in tonight is huge. I would take this about as seriously as I took the MACD 2-day cross for the histogram. So this 2-day cross that we got here on the MACD bullish was big, and we see that was a perfect call because now we're hitting up to higher highs in the structure. It's very nice to see. And pretty much I would just say that we need to pay attention to the 75-76 cent level. Getting closures above there, getting closures above these 200 moving averages, continuing to hold them, followed by this cross would be amazing for XRP. And XRP is my favorite indicator out of any altcoin, because once that starts to moonshot, then we start seeing all the other altcoins do some pretty crazy moves. So just have to wait and see. I believe that by very early August, we should be seeing XRP start to approach the mid 80 cent level. So anyways, today is the last day of the Mastermind course sale. You can learn how to do technical analysis and combine it with Gematria. My email's in the description box to get in contact with me. Promo code in the pinned comment below. Feel free to like and subscribe this video if you're new to the channel and you like what we're doing here. Enjoy the rest of your weekend in the Matrix. Much love.